Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and more on WWE 2K22 is following on from the gameplay video going over all the new additions and the changes to gameplay. We're going to follow that up with some additional details that were shown off, including the reveal of new superstars, arenas, the 2K showcase, MyRise, and the original WWE Thunderdome. Before we get to that though, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest news and gameplay, please do hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out on future videos. So let's start things off with the official confirmation of the WWE Thunderdome in its original form, as not only does WWE 2K22 feature the current Thunderdome with a live crowd, but it also includes the original Thunderdome featuring crowd screens. As you can see from the footage, the Thunderdome screens feature real-world video with what is assumed to be members of the WWE 2K dev team. Due to the decision to go with real video, this brings up an interesting question in regards to how the screens will react to moves, as unlike a virtual crowd that can switch between reactions, the live video crowd would need to switch to different clips. Because of this, I've got a feeling that the screens may just be one giant loop, however we're going to have to wait and see when we get more gameplay as to just how they work. Along with the confirmation of the original Thunderdome, 2K also revealed that the game will feature more than 55 arenas, which may sound like a lot, however in comparison, WWE 2K20 featured a total of 51, and that was without brawl areas or DLC. As for what new arenas will be featured, we already know that WrestleMania 21 is included as part of the Rey Mysterio 2K showcase. However, also shown off, we had the reveal of Cyber Sunday 2008, which featured a giant computer on the stage. This arena was shown off in new footage of the showcase, with the footage confirming the inclusion of Rey's no-holds-barred match with Kane. The footage also confirms that Kane will feature an unmasked persona alongside the masked version shown in trailers, with a stop sign used here by Rey also now confirmed as a brand new weapon. Staying with the 2K showcase, we also have some new footage of the WrestleMania 21 match between Rey and Eddie, with this new footage confirming that the referee has now been updated and he now features the blue SmackDown referee shirt. Therefore, hopefully this referee is also available to use within other modes like MyGM and Universe. Also teased, we have a very brief look at the introduction cutscene to MyRise, as here we get a look at one of the opening scenes that sees the character visit the Performance Center, with this footage revealing Beth Phoenix and Shawn Michaels, who take on the role of coaching in the Performance Center. Also announced was the inclusion of several new championships, with these including updated designs for the WWE Intercontinental and US Championships, as well as the debut of the NXT UK Tag Team titles. For those interested in the improvements being made to hair, it was revealed that hair physics have also undergone some major changes, with 2K using Bianca to show off how the hair looks in their editor before then revealing how it looks in-game, with Bianca's hair looking to be a big improvement over 2K20. As for other footage, we also have some new entrants and gameplay clips, with the first piece of action showing off an announce table finisher, as Bobby Lashley can be seen putting The Miz through the announce table with the big ending. The presence of the big ending rather than Dominator appears to show that Lashley's announce table finisher hasn't been updated, as the big ending was also assigned to Lashley in 2K20, with players having to manually assign the Dominator in Create a Moveset. Aside from the move, the point of this footage is to show off the new physics elements that have been added to the objects at ringside, as according to the first episode of the Ringside Report, announce tables should now break more realistically depending on the move that's performed. What this footage also does is give us a better look at the announce team, as Michael Cole appears to have a minor change to the colour of his tie, whilst Corey Graves looks to have received a full overhaul. Switching to the next piece of footage, this next clip shows off an up-close image of John Cena in the SmackDown arena, with the camera here pulled in really close, as this is one of the main changes that's been made to both entrances and cutscenes. As we switch over to Asuka, it's unknown if this shot is part of her entrance or if it's part of a victory scene, but what it does do is give us a much better look at her in-ring attire, with Asuka here being another star that's received a major upgrade. Speaking of major upgrades, our next clip shows off more of Sasha Banks' entrance, with a quick clip of Sasha on the apron before we then cut back to another shot of Asuka on the top rope. From there we get confirmation that the Red Hell in a Cell returns, as we see the Undertaker deliver a chokeslam to Shawn Michaels, whose attire looks to be taken from the showcase, as this is the attire that he wore for the match with Mysterio at the Eddie Guerrero Memorial Show. In the next clip, we find ourselves back in the Raw arena with Bobby Lashley delivering another big ending, this time to Big E. However, as Lashley's performing Big E's finisher, this could be confirmation that stolen finishers are still included, or after we've seen him deliver the move to The Miz through the table, perhaps this is just one of his moves in the moveset. Moving on, we get a great look at Damian Priest, who we seen in action earlier today in the gameplay reveal, with Priest's model looking to be extremely impressive. We then switch over to Roman Reigns, who we see on the turnbuckle as part of his entrance, with this shot again showing off more of the new camera movements. From Roman, we switch over to Becky in the Raw arena, with this footage showing off Becky in better detail, yet I can't help but think that something looks off. Next up, we get the reveal of Hulk Hogan, who returns with the same red and yellow attire that he wore in 2K20, as the black and white NWO version is reserved for the NWO for Life edition. Also shown off in this shot, we get our first look at Robert Roode, who we see here laid out on the mat as Hogan delivers the leg drop. This footage also appears to debunk that special guest referee mode's returning, as the referee shown here is the same one that was shown in the gameplay trailer. Therefore, whilst it does look a lot like Angelo Dawkins, sadly this looks to be down to 2K reusing his old texture rather than bringing back special guest referee. As we move on, we get another look at Edge's entrance, with this clip being an extended version of the one that was used in the earlier trailer, as this time we see Edge slide into the ring and then make his way over to the corner. Our next entrance clip features The Rock, as we get a longer look at his entrance, with this shot really showing off just how big a change there is to The Rock's model, as this version of The Rock looks much more like he did when he last appeared in WWE. Following on from The Rock, we get some new entrance shots of Asuka and Humberto, with these shots showing off some of the improvements to cloth simulation, as the movement of the chains on Asuka's mask and the flow of Humberto's cape appear to be much more realistic. The same can also be said for this footage of Seth, as if you take a look at his jacket, you can see how this bounces as he makes his way up the ring steps, with similar movement also visible in the towel that's wrapped around Shayna. In this next piece of footage, we get our first look at the Undertaker's Lord of Darkness persona, which is one of 3 personas that you can access when pre-ordering. As for Macho Man, I think he looks pretty good, although there isn't much of a notable change to 2K20 other than the fact that Legends now appear to have widescreen Trons, which is a lot better than the old versions, which featured a black border. After showing off footage of Booker T being scanned for the game, we also got a look at Booker's new model, with this version looking much more realistic than he has in the past. Finally, our last few shots show off some new updates for Cesaro, who we see make his entrance, another clip of Damian Priest, and then a glowing Naomi, who looks to benefit from changes to the glow material. Also a surprise inclusion was the reveal of Drew Gulak, who we see here sporting a much thicker beard, with the same being said for Sheamus, whose hair looks to be a big improvement, as does the way his Celtic cross can be seen to move as he walks. Finally, we also have a look at AJ Styles' entrance, as Styles looks to have a new entrance animation, with the motion and the bounce here showing off more of the improvements to hair. So that's all the details I have for you on today's gameplay reveal, with some additional things announced and a first look at more of this year's roster. So let me know what you make of today's news in the comments and what you're most looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to trying out the Thunderdome, especially now that we know it has the crowd screens, as I think that's a really cool addition. Anyway guys, that does it for this video, but if you want to stay up to date with all the latest news on the game, please do hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out on future videos. Until next time though, thank you so much for watching, have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.